Howdy folks. Well, Lucy's happy now. She got to go for her ride in little Betty's shop truck. I just had me a late breakfast or early lunch. We're back over here. Let's see if we can get this little truck back in the shop and get back on this fan shroud. Alrighty, here we go. Try this one more time, see if the cameraman will stay put this time. Well, didn't run off the front of the lift anyway. Looks like I made the kiddies nervous. There's George watching from his perch at the top of the shop. All right, let's get off of here and get back and get busy. Looks like my shop supervisors are on the move, coming down to see what's going on. You'd think they'd find a more comfortable place to get, but Curious George in particular loves it at the top of the shop. Sissy Kitty's a little more bashful. In fact, you probably won't see her on camera very often because she don't like to be disturbed. She wants to hunt and be left alone. Ain't that right, George? Is that right, buddy? Huh? Is that right? Yeah, you want to know everything that's going on. Sissy just wants to be left alone. All right. Eat your breakfast. I'm going to get back to work. All right. Since the other day, I've made a couple more changes on this. At that time, we was working on this cutout right here, and it was 4 inches from the edge. Since then, I've taken another 1.5 inches off of this entire lip all the way around on both halves, and then to get it down in there far enough, it became apparent that I need to take this section out. I'll have to piece that back in underneath of the transcoolant lines, and the heater return line I made access for right there. Let's get this up off the floor and see where we're at down inside there, and I'll see if I can do this with one hand and hold the camera with the other. That may be an exercise in futility, but we're going to try it. Hey, that radiator's warm. It's been running. Okay, that's getting me. You can see where I'm at or not. That's got me straddling that hose. And get that worked over against the radiator hose. But to get the fan, I'm going to need to move this back about 1.5 inches, so I might have to do some more whittling down there in that hole. It needs to be back like that, which means I'm going to have to make a mount and a spacer, call it, going between this hole right here, because that's going to be, it's looking like right now about 1.5 inches gap in there. So more slicing and dicing and whittling and fussing and discussing, and we'll see what we wind up with. I'll keep whittling on this thing till there ain't nothing left to whittle on, and then I'll use it for a pattern to build something, possibly. Alrighty. That's got me straddling that hose. Seems like I'm always Ruby's cubing something in this shop. Today's no different. Get some wheels back around back, out of my way. I'm tired of tripping over them. Get the table moved over into the other bay. Maybe we can get little Betty back on the frame lift. take to do this? Looky there, first shot. Put these things in here somewhere where they'll sure to be in the way next time. Back and see if we can get that table down. Well, that's got it outside. Now it's got turned around where I can steer it. Or get on the other side of it. cool when the camera's on. I can move it around by hand now. There's a tractor back in the back, and go back to Rubik's Cube and some more crap in there. I'll tell you what, I'd be absolutely lost without this little tractor. Way, way handier in the pocket in the back of your underwear. Think on that a minute. I suspect I'm not the only one that's been saying for a long, long time that I'm gonna clean that shop up and actually make it mine. Well, at this point, I think I'm probably just lying to myself. In the meantime, it's cleaned up enough that I can get in there and work on this little truck. So let's get in there and do just that. That dadgum island post right there makes a straight shot. Near impossible, but it's doable. See what I'm gonna run over this time. See if I'm gonna catch my arms, my left arms on my truck A arms. Okay, there's the first bump stops. Bring that to the over one with the back tire and we'll be there. There we are. Alrighty. Here we go again. Alright, got Betty back in here in the first bay. Flip-flop the fab table over onto the drive-on lift. Part of the reason for that is I'm gonna have to do some mechanicing on this truck. Got an intake gasket leaking, seeping water everywhere. I'm not going to show that. There's 1,001 mechanics that actually do pretty in-depth videos on that sort of thing. But while I'm tinkering with it, working on this fan shroud, the weather has turned cool and I've got about a little over a week between now and a car show I want to go to in Oklahoma. The Robbers Cave, Robbers Cave Fall Colors Cruise, I believe is what it's called. So we're going to see if we can get a heater in here because the weather that weekend. It's supposed to be in the 80s, but when we're leaving our place driving over there, it's supposed to be down to possibly as low as the 40s, upper 40s, low 50s. Well, so cab don't have any seals in it, and we might want something to keep the fog off the windows and the frost off our toes. Anyway, back to her. Looks like that old heater core's maybe going to hold vacuum. Believe it or not, it's a good thing I didn't throw it away. This is the heater core out of the 53 Ford that I call Betty. And with these fall evenings cooling off rather cool, I think I might want a heater back in that old truck. Anyway, this is what we've done here. Of course, I had to taped off the inlet, made an adapter to stick in there. She's holding, I think. Might fool around and have a functional heater core yet. Of course, let me show you what I found when I pulled the fan out. This is very typical. Look at that mess down in there. But surprisingly, can you believe that? It might just fool around and work. Of course, before I could do any testing, I had to work on my old Fearless Mighty Vac because it wouldn't pull vacuum. So, old trick that works on vacuum motors, especially windshield wiper motors. Father-in-law showed me years ago is clean them all up, lube them up, and reseal them with that good old petroleum jelly. When they get all daubed up, that'll get them going again. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to something else.